On parle souvent de la réconciliation et c'est un mot qui est devenu presque automatique, mécanique. Mais quand on se donne la peine de regarder, d'analyser un peu qu'est-ce qu'il y a dans le mot réconcilier, il y a l'idée de réparer, il y a l'idée de recoller les morceaux, il y a l'idée de réintroduire de la normalité, si je peux me permettre. Ce qui présuppose qu'avant de réconcilier, il y a un moment de tension, un moment de conflit, un moment de déchirure et sûrement de blessure.
Fall of the Berlin Wall, 12th of November 1989. Citizens from East and West Berlin climb up the Mauer at the Potsdamer Platz, thereby overcoming the dividing line between the Eastern and the Western power blocks. The end of the Cold War is in reach, a peace movement without victims. Opening of talks between USSR and the US in Geneva, 19th of November 1985. United States President Ronald Reagan and Soviet Party leader Mikhail Gorbachev meet in Villa d'Eau at Versoix near Geneva. Among other results, the negotiations lead to the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, signed in Washington 2 years later.
I'm pleased to report tonight that General Secretary Gorbachev and I did make a measure of progress here.
I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Black pupils get access to white schools in the US. 17th of September 1954. The end of apartheid in US school policy has started to become a reality. On May 17, 1954, the Supreme Court confirmed the decision to desegregate school pupils. Black and white 4th graders at St. Martin's School, Washington, D.C. dash into the playground at recess.
Une fois que tu n'es pas en paix avec toi-même, une fois que tu vis des conflits internes, tu ne peux pas te réconcilier avec l'autre. Je sais que c'est un processus aussi long, mais c'est un processus important, important pour chacun, important pour chaque Rwandais surtout. Alors je me dis, il faut qu'on continue de travailler comme on travaille aujourd'hui, mais ajouter autre chose, à approcher les gens, les amener à vraiment à penser à cette approche de réconciliation.
Nelson Mandela's release from prison, Cape Town, 11th of February 1990.
This was the moment the world paused to applaud. The day the myth yielded to the man and Nelson Mandela walked to freedom.
After 27 years in prison, the leader of South Africa's National Congress, ANC, walks to freedom. The white apartheid regime risks a first step towards a system change that will eventually lead to Mandela's presidency and the end of a century of white supremacy. Meeting of the Ecumenical Orthodox Patriarch Bartholomew I and Pope Benedict XVI, 30th of November 2006. The highest representative of the Roman Catholic Church meets the supreme authority of the Eastern Church during a 4-day visit to Turkey. They wave from a balcony of the Patriarchate in Istanbul. Benedict XVI calls divisions amongst Christians a scandal to the world.
I might say that this document encompasses almost all of the issues between the two countries and resolves those issues.
Camp David Accords, Washington, D.C., 17th of September, 1978. Egyptian President Anwar el-Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin join in a ceremony at the White House to sign the outline of a peace plan developed at Camp David with United States President Jimmy Carter in the role of intermediary. That same year, Begin and Sadat shared the Nobel Peace Prize.
Quand on parle de réconcilier, c'est un long processus. C'est jamais un état auquel on arrive. C'est un processus qui souvent est annoncé par un geste de bravoure extrême, mais qui souvent au début est jugé comme plutôt un geste de traîtrise.
The future belongs to us because we have taken charge of it.
Launch of Liberia's Truth and Reconciliation Commission, Monrovia, 22nd of June, 2006. Liberian President Ellen Sirleaf participates in a cleansing ceremony at the launch of Liberia's Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It follows the example of the South African Reconciliation Commission and aims to document human rights abuses to provide a basis for the coexistence of former enemies. Reopening of the reconstructed bridge in the city of Mostar, Bosnia-Herzegovina, 23rd of July 2004. On the eve of the reopening celebration of the Mostar Bridge, built in the 16th century over the Neretva River, the reconstructed monument, part of UNESCO World Heritage, appears in festive illumination. Following the destruction of the bridge during the Balkan War of 1992 to 1995, its reconstruction has become the symbol of reconciliation between Christian and Muslim communities.
Mostar je samo grad, kad je grad i Srba, i Hrvata, i Bošnjaka.
Signing of the CSCE agreement in Helsinki, Finland, 1st of August 1975. Passing remarks between the GDR party leader Erich Honecker and West German Chancellor Helmut Schmidt during the Conference of the Security and Cooperation in Europe, CSCE, in Helsinki. The agreement's final protocol mentioned human rights. When published in the newspapers of Warsaw Pact countries, it strongly encouraged the democratic movements in the East.
Parce que je sais bien que si nous préparons bien nos enfants, ce ne sera pas difficile comme c'est difficile pour nous, les adultes qui ont vécu notre histoire.
The fact that these wonderful people play together here will not bring peace. What it can bring is understanding, the patience, the courage, and the curiosity to listen to the narrative of the other.
The West Eastern Divan Orchestra in Weimar, Germany, 28th of August 2006. Founded in 1999 by Palestinian-American intellectual Edward Said and Argentine-born pianist-conductor Daniel Barenboim, this orchestra unites 110 musicians from 17 countries, thereby contributing to peace and intercultural dialogue in the Middle East. The word sorry, written in the sky above the Sydney Opera House, 28th of May, 2000. The magic word appeared during corroboree celebrations in Australia. Sorry is the one word Aborigines wanted to hear Australian Prime Minister Howard say in response to the misery experienced by generations of Indigenous people. Justice and equity for all is one of the goals of the Aboriginal Council. The expression of apology in the sky above Sydney was the breathtaking initiative of an unidentified organisation.
Today we honour the Indigenous peoples of this land, the oldest continuing cultures in human history.
La Comisión ha encontrado que la cifra más probable de víctimas fatales en esos 20 años supera los 69.000 peruanos y peruanas muertos o desaparecidos.
Peru Truth and Reconciliation Commission, Rwanda, Ayacucho Province, 11th of April 2002. Women present photos of murdered journalists on the occasion of the relatives' testimony before the Commission. During the period of Maoist Shining Path terrorism in the 1980s and 90s, about 30,000 Peruvians died and 6,000 disappeared, many due to atrocities committed by government forces battling the guerrillas.
L'exposition que nous vous présentons ici, c'est une exposition qui s'inscrit dans une dimension spatiale et temporelle qui inclut le Rwanda, mais sans qu'on parle du Rwanda, dans la mesure où il s'agit des images, des moments symboliques ou des premiers moments de contact entre les adversaires d'hier, mais un peu partout dans le monde.
Et que ce qui se passe ailleurs, on peut peut-être pas les utiliser dans notre culture intégralement, mais peut-être y tirer des leçons qui peuvent nous aider dans notre pays.
The French President addressing the Algerian Parliament and Senate, Algiers, 20th of December 2012. In his historic speech, François Hollande pleads for a strategic and equal partnership between Algeria and France, and wishes to enter a new era where France is open and honest about the crimes that were committed during the 132 years of colonization, so that the past does not prevent the two countries from working together for the future.
L'histoire, même quand elle est tragique, même quand elle est douloureuse, pour nos deux pays, elle doit être dite.
First public hearings of Morocco's Equity and Reconciliation Commission in Rabat, 21st of December 2004. After the death of King Hassan, his more liberally minded son, Mohammed VI, accepts the establishment of an official government human rights committee. The Equity and Reconciliation Commission was charged with investigating the period from the 1950s to the 1990s, when thousands of Moroccans were illegally detained, imprisoned, tortured, or forcibly disappeared. The Commission was also mandated to provide compensation to the victims and their families. In the foreground, Ahmed Ben Mansour, an alleged victim of repression, testifies before the Commission.
Les Rwandais font partie des autres populations du monde. Nous habitons la même planète. Nous ne sommes pas les créateurs de ce qu'il y a de mieux, nous ne sommes pas non plus les créateurs de ce qu'il y a de pire. On est des êtres humains avec des hauts et des bas. Et parler des tensions d'hier, des tensions d'ailleurs, mais aussi des tentatives de recherche de solutions d'ailleurs et d'hier, nous permettent aujourd'hui de mieux penser ce qui se fait au Rwanda, de ce qui se fait depuis déjà un bon moment, mais aussi de ce qui pourrait se faire plus tard. Ici, on a le souci de parler de maintenant tout en évoquant le passé, mais surtout, on a le souci de l'avenir. On a le souci des futures générations. On a le souci du travail d'histoire. On a le souci de transmettre des valeurs, de la vraie bravoure celles qui recherchent la paix, celles qui recherchent des lendemains autres que les lendemains de guerre.